Welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds. I'm Dustin.
I'm both.
And I'm Kurt.
Yeah. Oh, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
My day was going fine, but then I had to watch this movie. That was a rough one. Oh, man.
How far in did you get before you said, this is a bad movie?
Like 4 minutes. I'm being real, like 4 minutes. I was like, oh, this is like worse than even the trailer. This is bad.
Yeah.
And I messaged you guys. I was like, oh, thank God this movie's about over. And I look up I'm taking notes and I look at the time. And there's 40 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I paused it and fell asleep. Took a little nap because that's how overloaded I was with that. And I'm like, all right, I gotta take a nap.
Man,
Close my eyes, open it back up, turn it back on. It's like, all right, I'm good to go now.
You know, stormtroopers get bad, they get a lot of grief for being bad shots. Dude, these guys were 20 feet away from each other with heavy artillery and couldn't hit anything.
There's no what I love is that they have like all this demolishable, like weak crates, drywall, a garbage can, our armor piercing rounds, nothing.
Yeah.
There's not even
about,
like there's not even like bullet holes.
In like the first real big fight scene, the guy opens up the door of his van and gets out and crouches down next to it, and the bottom of the door is like shoulder level.
Yeah.
He's like completely exposed, and he's closest to all the action.
They're all just, that happens so many times. They're all just standing around getting shot at, and they're just like, hi, I'm over here. It's just like, what are you doing? Stop, take cover.
Okay, so Kurt, since you're the one that picked this, you have the honor. Tell us what the fuck this movie is about. I dare you.
Oh, okay, no problem, man. I can totally tell you what this movie is about. As soon as I pull it back up on Google here. No, in the year 2045.
No, 2045?
To go back, well, you got to go back a few years, really. The government built these crazy mechanical, cyborgs to try to police things, but they were not working out. They were having issues of, killing people that they shouldn't kill or just malfunctioning in general. So it was scrapped by the government. But then an evil cartel in the year 2045, led by Danny Trejo, has some of those.
Yeah.
And with the help of those, they are going to just control everything.
Yeah.
And they're going to take over the world. It's a futuristic take on the war on drugs in Mexico. Things are so bad that they thought, we can make these guys fight crime for us. And then they end up being in the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because didn't one of the main characters have a chip in his brain that he can? The control.
The movie starts, for anybody who has yet to see it, and I urge you to see it. Everybody's got to have that rank. What movie is a 1? What movie is a 10? This can be your 1. But so this soldier was put into this program as a prototype, and if it worked out, he was like the research guinea pig. The chip that they implanted in his brain would give him the ability to completely, at any moment in time, take over and control any robot within a certain range of him. So, they put one soldier in with 20 mechs, or whatever the right term for them is, and that's all you need.
It's like they're drones, but they're humanoid.
Right, and you can control them, but it turns out that they actually start going after that, the person with the chip, and they can't control it. So the program goes completely awry with one crazy last major disaster. And, the government needed a scapegoat, so they pinned it on this test soldier. It was all his fault. He ordered the killing of all these people, and he gets thrown in jail.
Yeah.
Fast forward, now the cartel has him. They think that they can get that soldier and get him to go in there and control those robots. But they find out that his chip is damaged. What is he going to do? Well, luckily, the cartel happens to be holding captive the man who engineered the program.
Right.
And they're holding his daughter as his incentive to get this done, or we're going to ice your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two storylines at play here. The storyline of Danny Trejo wants to control the world with these guys, and the soldier who needs to get to that doctor, that research doctor that is being held, and get him to fix his chip so that he can then instantly take control of all of them, thus ending the situation. They would all turn on the cartel and be once again back in control of the U.S. military.
Now, when you say chip, this is what one of the things I was like, oh, yeah, we're in for a ride. The chip is a literal chip that's just sticking out the side of his head. No protection, no housing unit. It's not connected to anything. It's just like a microchip just pudged into some silly putty
pushed into
the side of his head.
Right. Right. I liked how, did you notice that all of the military uniforms had an iPhone?
Yeah.
That was just displaying some crazy thing. But it was only in shots where they were up close and head on, because you'd see the things flashing. Then they'd pan to another guy and they'd all just be off. And then they'd pan to the next guy and they're all going again. But it looked cool.
I was trying to figure out what exactly was that, because here's the other thing. They have this thing called Adam, ADAM, just like the name. And he could, he was their eye in the sky and could do extra things.
Adam was Jarvis.
Yeah, Jarvis. That's a good comparison.
At one point in this movie, they actually find a way to put Adam into one of these things that they found. There was one that got, kind of disabled and left out in the desert, and a local landowner found it and was keeping it hidden.
Yeah, it's very real still.
Yeah. And so, these two soldiers, the guy with the chip on his head, they go to see if they can just get it back from this guy, but he wants $1 million. But unfortunately, it wakes up, and that's when things go nuts again, and it's trying to kill them all. Yeah. And it's funny how, like you said, all this advanced weaponry, and the way that they actually stop the thing is by, something dumb. They throw, a trash can lid or something at it. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But,
well, he holds up a trash can or something, whatever it was, and it's full on blocking every punch from the robot guy. It's just like, geez, that's one strong trash can lid.
Yeah.
And did you notice that in the movie Carson, they about, I don't know, a third of the way in the movie, they give him a lens that gives him a heads up.
Yeah.
That gives him his vitals and everything on screen at all times. No matter if he gets stabbed, shot, punched in the head, knocked unconscious, whatever, his vitals always say 100%.
Well, it is 2045. I mean, obviously, look at the technology. One of the things that really stood out to me, I had to stop and go back a few just to make sure I saw what I saw. I mean, as all the soldiers, there's a scene where the soldiers are approaching the building where Danny Trejo is. And the one soldier looks at the other soldier who's been in jail forever, the guy with the chip in his head, and he goes, man, it's 2045. Technology is insane. And then they stop behind a wall because they could be viewed by the security camera, and they pan to the security camera, and it's a 1985 Radio Shack, rusty old camera just on the side of the building. It's not even turning or flashing or anything.
Let's tell me you spotted in the background at that scene. It's night. They pull up to this club, I guess. And in the background, this is supposed to be like war-torn, just drug cartels running everything in Mexico. Yeah. And there's active gas stations in the background. People are pumping their gas in the background. There's families just driving along. Everything's nice and green. And I was like, God, this looks like the suburb is like Utah or something. Sure enough, you check the credits, it's Utah.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, okay.
Nice.
And plus, they always conveniently have fights in an abandoned location too.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I got so many notes. That one scene when they introduce Adam. They're asking where what is his name? Hemsworth, the tech guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hemsworth's not there, and so the guy, their leader, the unit, he's like, Adam, where the hell is your boyfriend? And then you expect to hear the voice of Adam like through their little fake iPhone little meter things. But for some reason, it is clearly a dude all set with no mic, just saying the line.
Right.
And so it sounds like this. He's like, wait a minute, I got this because I want to. Adam, where the hell is your boyfriend? Sir, Corporal Hemsworth is due with you within your immediate vicinity forthwith.
I don't remember computers having a problem spitting out words.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I wrote it down. Sir, Corporal Hemsworth will be within your immediate vicinity forthwith. That's how he said the line.
And what one thing what is the thing, that statue, that skeleton thing that Danny Trejo is constantly talking to?
I got a picture of this. I snuck it off. It looks like a Spirit of Halloween set.
I know,
one of their displays. Look at this. I lost my shit when I saw that. And plus, this is that scene where he's like telling his story about how he became where he's at.
Yeah.
And it cuts to him as a kid, and they cut for like a fraction of a second just to him killing a dude, shivving him as a kid. He's like,
Yeah.
And that's like, yeah, they got a kid. They pulled a kid in. I have a feeling like first of all, Danny Trejo is pretty much dressed like this the entire movie. Yeah. Which is basically a tale that they had him for like a day.
Yeah.
And they just kept him in this it's like a grandma robe or something.
It was probably a rental storage unit that was filmed in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is supposed to be this like massive altar that keeps him spiritually aligned and keeps him focused on his hate for everything. And it's just, I'm pretty sure that's just like a costume crown.
Definitely.
I think it is because
that's like Dollar Tree. It came with earrings and a necklace.
Right.
Plus the warehouse, everything's just pallets that they just turn on their side. They didn't even bother to drape the camo, which is like the typical faux background, Yeah. So we can't afford the camo, but we got these pallets. Okay, I wanted to talk about this. So this movie is called Cartel 2045.
Uh-huh.
But when it was released, they were pitching it as Juarez 2045. And I have no idea why. This was a Kickstarter too at some point. They were wanting $150,000.
That was probably just for Danny Trejo.
This didn't even get funded. The note says from them that they had a studio interest and the studio asked them to pull the Kickstarter down. I don't know if that's true, because if you look at how much money they raised, they only got to $17,000. Which is and also this picture is, I don't know. Anyway, so I saw this poster and you see it and you think this is the main dude.
Yeah.
And I looked it up. The dude used to be a Power Ranger. And I'm like, oh man, this is a dude. And you watch the movie, he's like a side character.
Yeah.
They don't even use. This is the guy who probably, aside from Danny Trejo, probably has the most acting credits on his resume. And he's reduced to cannon fodder, basically.
I don't even remember him being in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I can. You ready for this? Do you remember when at the end and they just cut back outside, and there's just a random ass martial arts fight.
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh my gosh.
Like that one dude, that badass dude that comes out of nowhere. How is that dude not the second? How is that dude not like the right hand
Right.
of Danny Trejo? Instead, it's this. Is it like is it his son, his nephew?
I don't remember who he was.
Anyway, the dude
In
looks like
relation to him.
Prince, but he looks like Prince from the 90s. Like when he changed his name to the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
Like the nice flat permy hair, you know. And that dude was the one running around, getting into trouble in hijinks. Man, that was. Plus, he died in a really stupid way.
Mm-hmm.
Robots. Apparently, if you just circle around it, it's just going to shoot whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's in its sight. Oh man.
Well, okay, so the military tactics were astonishingly bad.
I don't think there were any.
Right. Just the it was like a rent-a-cop pretend. It was like if I put on camo and then ran around with a paintball gun and said this is a movie.
With the only instruction of, okay, you're going to go over there and crouch.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, their formations, man. If Zach had watched this, he would have just been screaming at them.
Yeah.
Because they end up like bumping into each other, like they don't know which direction they're supposed to. They don't even do like the, just they don't even fake that. They're just like, let's move out, and then they just kind of disband like kids after like recess is over.
And then there was that one dude who was like, this was when they're discussing the rat, and he just disappears, and they're like, "Hey, get this guy back! Get this guy back! Like, we need backup." And he's just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna go kill this other random dude first.
There's a
then I'll get back to you." It's just like, what?
Okay, so this scene where Hemsworth, the tech guy, he gives Carson he says, "I call it an IED EMP."
EMT, yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, all right.
I forgot about that.
All right, so how does that work exactly? He's like, it's like an improvised explosive device, but it doesn't blow up. It sends out an electromagnetic pulse.
Right.
And I'm like, that's a fucking EMP then. That's not an IED. Surely you're not that stupid. The E stands for explosive.
Well, what I like about him is that, he can be in a vehicle and throw it at the vehicle next to him and totally knock out that vehicle, but his is fine.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about their digicamo?
Chevy? The mix of regular camo and digital. Oh, it's like, when I first saw that camo job, I thought, Minecraft had something to do with this. Right. That was the worst camo I've ever seen. And trust me, where I live, there's a lot of guys with hand-painted camo pickups. They're not as bad as this one was.
Yeah. Plus, everywhere they went, it was like, it looked like a school, just basements, like abandoned schools and warehouses. And they do that stereotypical thing where it's Mexico, so there's a yellow filter over everything. It's sepia toned.
And it's got the little black scratches that go through the film every now and then.
Yeah, that was, I was confused by that because the dude clearly influenced by Neil Blomkamp. Like, clearly. I mean, it's got like District 9 vibes, Chappie vibes. And they want to shoot it like that. They keep, doing like these close handheld digital, like, let's get in tight, let's roll with them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decide to put an old-timey filter over it like it's a Grindhouse movie.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, which one is it? What aesthetic are you going for?
Right.
Are we doing like, digital cameras, or are we doing old school film? Because I'm very confused.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the cinematography. Oh my God. If it wasn't them chasing and ducking behind somebody, the cameraman just kept just rotating back and forth around them. Never a still shot.
Yeah.
And I accidentally they would get an occasional like good composition, but then he would just keep rolling right past it.
Yeah.
I think out of everything in that movie, that's what bugged me the most was the cinematography. I know that's weird, but that really was bothering me. I was like, hold the camera fucking still. This ain't an action scene. It's dialogue. Either cut back and forth.
Yeah.
Or just keep the camera still, man. Like, can you imagine watching a movie like this the whole time? You know, like it's
well, that's like handheld what Cloverfield was. It's like
it's like
people
they
were-
couldn't decide.
were bitching about
Hardcore
Cloverfield.
Henry.
Yeah.
That movie, man.
yeah.
Whew.
Oh man, Hardcore Henry's so awesome.
I haven't seen it.
You know, Dustin, if it might make you a little queasy, a little dizzy, because it's that constant first-person view the entire movie.
The entire movie's first person. That's correct.
Through his eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, hard to say what it would be like for me.
Now, I'd like to see that movie in VR.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through my notes. They actually take a moment and explain what cocaine is, like it's PBS. I don't even think that was meant to be a joke. It sounds like it was, oh yeah, the computer's over explaining. But the guy reacts like he's actually talking to him and everything. And I'm like, do you not know what cocaine is?
Right.
Maybe not try to stop cartels if you don't know what cocaine is. I'm looking through. Oh, the guy's outside saying this is taking too long. Something must be wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though they all have communication devices.
Right.
That was some good. Yeah, that's where they just throw out that random fight.
Yeah.
This guy that I don't even think he's been in the movie before. That sleek black.
No, I don't think so either.
He comes in flipping and I'm like, where were you this whole movie?
And they had someone like a sniper trained on him, and it's just like just freaking shoot him.
Yeah.
No.
We got to have a fight.
Yeah, we got to have a fight.
Yeah, they clearly don't know how miniguns work because either miniguns turn you into mist or they just fire two giant bullets.
Right.
Well, that guy gets one in the chest and one in the head, but she all screams.
Yeah, that was another one I had to watch several times over and over again. It's like, wait a minute, there's like a weird delay there.
Yeah.
It's one shot, but the first one hits him and there's almost like a half-second pause. And then the one hits him in the head and blows it up.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah. That was fantastic.
And you know what? I can't say it was shot pretty poorly, but that fight, it wasn't bad. I mean, I've seen better, but at least they were like, you could like these dudes they actually know what they're doing. It was just shot like this one take, like from far away,
right?
Just like somebody was filming it on their phone or something.
It was actually probably another movie being filmed, a set over, and the dude just happened to look over and go, "Oh, we could use this."
Yeah. I think it could have, if they had filmed it like what they did in Hunted, the movie Hunted.
Is that the one with Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones and
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, Benicio.
Yeah, that's like one of the sickest knife fights ever put the film.
That is my inspiration for fights. Like it's just like, okay, I want to achieve this. This is what I want.
Yeah, it's like they were trying to do that, or that fight from the Winter Soldier and Captain America.
Yeah,
that fight in the street, like that fight is sick. It's like they were wanting to do that, except they decided to
I'm just gonna film it in one on one camera far away.
One camera far away. We're just gonna do it on the day.
Yeah,
and also nobody else is gonna fight like this in the rest of the movie. Also, the guy he's fighting, the most competent henchman out of the entire group.
Yeah.
He must have just showed up late or something.
Yeah.
It was okay. So I don't know if this will come out clear, but I have my favorite line from the movie. It's crudely recorded, and I apologize to people. And if you can't hear, I will definitely dictate it. But this, it was so fun. I was like, okay, this movie's worth it. Might be this one.
He doesn't have a body.
Yeah. Okay.
He's more like a brain.
So the scene setting this up, Hemsworth is explaining to Carson about why he should be the one responsible for, taking over the group because he's the only one competent enough to do it.
Yeah.
It's not just necessarily the chip, but literally, like, I think you're the only one that can do this. Here
Yeah.
He doesn't have a body. He's more like a brain. A fully automated tactical information system. He's like a fish that can swim in and out of it.
Listen to me. It's a bot. I don't want anything to do with it. Do you understand? Give it to somebody else.
Wait, dude, wait. I can't. They're all pussies. Plus, I hate them.
Best line.
So, okay. So also there was one person who wasn't even in the main cast. He was just like a throwaway person, but it was an Oscar worthy performance. Like, this dude is being threatened with a gun, and all of a sudden he's just like, he gets real shocked, like real surprised, and he's just like, and then he's just blown away.
I had the exact same thought looking at that dude. I was like, wow, you
an
actually
Oscar performance.
Yeah, because he's the guy, don't shoot the messenger, of course he gets shot.
Yeah.
But he's like, he does this whole, Danny Trejo pulls that gun on him. He's like, no.
Yeah. It's just like that was like, wow, that was actually a good one.
Yeah, I was like, I wish everybody else could perform like this. I know the main guy, he was doing his his cry takes because he was so traumatized.
Yeah,
and I know they do it in a lot of movies. I feel like they really downplayed the reality of PTSD.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where it was almost offensive. It's like, especially the guy that turns out to be a traitor. He's like, I don't want to go back home and have bad dreams and stuff, and I just want money. I want to be happy. And I'm like, man, don't downplay having PTSD.
Right.
Shit's harsh.
Yeah.
That guy reminded me of Bill Burr a little. It's like if you mix Bill Burr and Kevin Dillon.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't know.
So Jessica said Hardcore Henry gave her a migraine. But it was a good movie.
Yeah, I understand, because that movie, that camera is strapped to that dude.
Mm-hmm.
So if you even remotely get the motion sickness, that movie would be almost impossible to watch.
Yeah,
right.
Because I feel like that would be definitely, but yeah, I enjoyed Cloverfield, but
yeah, Cloverfield's the same thing. Yeah,
I don't know, but
I think that's all my notes. Oh,
so
random ass Mad Max vehicle at the end. I don't know where that came from. I'm like, why weren't those guys driving that armored vehicle instead of driving around in a Chevy?
Right.
The bad guys should have had the Chevy.
Yeah.
Anywho,
sure.
That's my notes.
Well, and the mech behind Danny Trejo here in this picture, it's like, that was actually kind of cool. Like, they should have had more of that.
Yeah, he just kind of goes over there and he stands there and he kind of looks just like a grandma waiting on a bus.
Yeah.
And they just CG this thing that drops down over him and it's supposed to be like lifting him up in the mech.
Mm-hmm.
He basically becomes like the Ironmonger.
Right.
For the last, 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's not really, that last fight's not really, that's where they're just dodging and he should be shooting through the trash can and
right.
The crates and everything. Like, they should be dead over. But you continuously are hearing like, bah, bah, and there's no bullets or anything anywhere. There's no damage effects. They don't bother with smoke, nothing. But that said, aside from the point where I was like, how the fuck is this 40 more minutes?
Yeah.
I wasn't bored.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was okay. Like,
It was just
It's not the
plot
highest
doesn't-
movie I would recommend, but it was entertaining at least.
Yeah.
Yes, it's entertaining. It's like Jessica said. It's like it's the right amount of cheese. It's perfect for riff tracks and stuff. If riff
Yeah.
tracks hasn't done this movie, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
It's very there.
Yeah. I mean, I think this would be fun to. I know we can't right now, but I think it would be fun to actually sit down and watch it together and watch that movie. Like, I think that would be a good one to do at some point. But that
Oh
would
yeah,
be,
I was laughing my ass off at parts,
yeah.
especially where the guy was like, "No, my friends can't do it. They're pussies, and I hate them." I'm like, wow, what a line. I'm gonna start saying that when you guys want me to do like watch Cartel 45. Or something. I can't, man. My friends are pussies, and I hate them. But no, it was a good pick. It was.
Yeah.
I wasn't
no,
bored.
Yeah, no, it was definitely entertaining. It
I'm
was
just
the right amount of
baffled.
cheese, like Jessica said. So
I'm just baffled that they didn't put this guy in the lead. The one with the
Maybe-
actual action training and acting experience and all that. He wasn't the lead. I don't understand.
yeah. Huh.
Man.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
what's the plans for next week? What do we have to pick from?
I was not able to get the trailer, but I'm going to suggest a movie that is in a genre that I talked about a couple of weeks ago when I said that down at the where I work, Dustin worked with me. We worked together down at the mall. There's a dollar store. And for some strange reason, one day I went in there and they had a carousel, spinning little carousel full of, you could tell they were bootleg movies. I mean, the jewel cases were paper thin. The jacket liners were, you could tell they were printed, but it was like all these 70s and late 60s martial arts movies.
Okay.
All the blaxploitation movies with like Fred Williams and Dolomite and all that stuff. And then dozens and dozens of these old school like biker gang movies, which, okay, if you're not into bikes, you might not want to watch it, but to me, it's worth watching because it's such a subgenre of 70s culture. These wild guys and girls that just live on the edge and live on the road, and they're always, running from the law and getting into stuff. And they made this template for these movies, and there's dozens of movies that they have big name characters in a lot of them. Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson was in a bunch.
There's a bunch of them,
Yeah,
but they all have the same storyline. It's like a template, and just fill in what you want, and you have a whole decade worth of movies. So the movie I'm going to recommend, and I'll put the link. I'll send the link out since I was not able to get the trailer for this movie, but it is on YouTube, and it's called Devil's Angels. It's 1967. It's a biker movie, and it's, again, I'll tell you who stars in this. This will tell you how great it is. I'll give you the synopsis. Cody, John Cassavetes, is the actor, and his motorcycle gang hear the story of how Butch Cassidy and his outlaw band lived in a secret area called the Hole in the Wall, where there were no police, there was no law, it was complete lawlessness, every man for himself. Inspired to do this, Cody tells the gang that they are all going to the Hole in the Wall to live forever. And so that is.
And what's the name of this film?
Devil's Angel.
Angels from 1967.
Yeah, I know. I've watched quite a few because this was like the early days of Mystery Science Theater. This was like their bread and butter.
Yeah, I mean, no special effects at all. Just, it was. You see, I mean, every movie just had the coolest motorcycles. Every motorcycle that someone had, for a bunch of guys that were dirt poor living off the, whatever. every motorcycle is so awesome,
Oh
so
my
that's
God.
a cool thing.
I love the tagline for this. Get out of their way if you can.
Yeah. I probably went through a good 20, 25 of these movies in a row. And yeah, like I said, they all have the same kind of storyline.
Yeah.
But it's
they like trickled over. What was God? I hear Damascus yelling at me. That horror one. There was a horror version of this.
there's Satan's Sadists, which is another biker movie around that year that's kind of goes in that direction. That's another one.
I'm
I know which one
looking it
I
up.
can't think of what you're talking about.
I think it was like late 70s, early 80s. I'll find it. Yeah, you talk amongst yourselves. If Damascus, he would he'd pull that name right out.
Yeah.
It might be Psychomania. That might be it.
So Devil's Angels for next week. That's their challenge to watch. And in other news, what was the movie that Zombie recommended? What was that?
The Uninvited.
The Uninvited. That's it. So I want to get him on here so that way he can talk about it as well. But he's not available right now, so it's a pretty tight to book something with him in June so far. So thinking maybe sometime in July, hopefully we'll be able to sit down with him and discuss that movie, and you have that long to watch it. So
Yeah, no, for sure.
We'll put up warnings, I guess. I'm not really adverts. I'm not sure how to say that. Anyway, we'll advertise that we're going to do it ahead of time. So watch out for that. Devil's Angels for next week.
Trying to think we got since we're on the subject of movies, Leo and Tom are going to be on the show on the 8th. Leo X Robertson and buddy Tom. They just recently, we talked about them. Leo's just on a string of putting out these movies right now. So
yeah,
I think he's going to talk about. Thank you for looking at
Yes.
because I know that like genre spilled over into everything, man.
Yeah,
It did.
There is like a huge, just right there in that gap, and they haven't really. Nobody's really returned to that genre either. I don't think.
There were some movies. There was Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. There was another biker movie with Charlie Sheen in the early 90s. There have been some movies like that, but yeah, the only thing that kind of seemed to go back to that is like Sons of Anarchy, that. But
yeah, that's fair enough. I totally overlooked Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
mafioso bike gang. Yeah, I guess like after Easy Rider, it's kind of hard to like top out on that.
Because Easy Rider is the worst ending to a movie of all time.
It just comes out of nowhere, and it's very depressing.
It's like they were making this movie, and
oh man,
they were having a great old time, and then all of a sudden the entire staff ran out of weed, and they're like, "Dude, we're out of weed. All right, end the movie. We're done."
Speaking of going back to Cartel, what a weird ending. He's just like, "I'm going home," and then they do the Marvel credits.
Yeah,
roll around. I'm like, "What do you mean you're just going home? What does that mean? What does that mean?" You're okay now? What changed? I don't know what changed.
I mean, they did say, because he was in prison because his chip messed up and he ended up killing a bunch of people. But the dude said they hired me to make it malfunction.
They snake plissed in him. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they were like, I sabotaged it on purpose. So
and that
he's
robot
essentially
was like,
good to go home. But
is this a happy ending? I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Is this good? He's like, I don't care. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Credits.
The 1993 Beyond the Law was the Charlie Sheen
Okay.
biker movie. You don't have to watch that one. And Psychomania, I tell you, if you want to find Psychomania, it's actually on Tubi.
Is it Tubi, man? I feel like I could just ditch everything and be okay with Tubi if I wasn't in the middle of some shows. Tubi is like the closest thing this generation will get to going into a video store.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime Video and AMC Plus, Sling TV, and Plex.
All right.
It's free on Plex and Sling TV as well as Tubi.
It sounds like so it shouldn't be no problem finding that. But so Devil's Angels is on Amazon Prime.
Devil's Angels is let me see. I know it's on YouTube.
Oh, sorry. I go back. Leo is coming on to talk about his recent releases.
Yes.
That horror comedy, Searching for Veslemoy, so fucking funny.
Ironically, we just lost the plot.
Yeah.
which is Leo's podcast that he does.
Yeah. We need to get that back up and going, man. I love those. Those are so fun.
Yeah.
I know there is one in the whole, like one in the chamber, man. I know me and Danger Slater and Leo all sit down and talk about David Lynch movies. And
that would be fun.
That was so fun. We need to get that episode. I mean, I don't think it would. I don't think we really talked about anything modern, so you could just put it up. I don't think anybody even care.
I don't even have it. Otherwise, I would.
It's like so old. Oh, we'll have to ask him about it. But he's coming on to talk about his movies.
Yeah.
And if you are interested in sending us like comments or just anything, we're going to be discussing how the approach to doing a modern Superman, since the last few attempts just haven't been working.
Well, I thought it worked with Henry Cavill, but
it didn't stick though. It's going to be a debate.
I know. Henry Cavill's my Superman, so
I liked Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah.
I still say he's a good New 52 Superman, but I don't like New 52.
No, I'm not.
It's just too dark.
And Dustin, you know my love for Christopher Reeves, so
yeah, it's going to be a fun topic. I was inspired because me and Zach were just casually having a conversation. We was like, "What? This would actually be a good topic."
Yeah,
because James Gunn's expressed like what he wants out of Superman. There's already rumors about people that are on the top of the list.
Yep, exactly.
Each week I like Jessica more and more.
Right.
I have no idea who she is. How you doing, Jessica?
Just keep coming back, Jessica. We love you.
Yeah. Yeah, she has just joined our group.
Oh, nice.
Facebook group.
Nice.
Which
I do need to ask.
Yeah.
Are there things we shouldn't post on that page? Is it just related to the Thunder Nerds universe?
I have no idea.
It's a private group, so you could technically post anything. So yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'd say anything's game. Just I
mean,
I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Chris starts posting those sped up decompositions,
nude stuff, and
no, nothing like that.
And
that's what you message,
right?
That's what I'll message to you guys, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, save that for the messages,
right?
So Christopher Reeve, yeah.
He's still my favorite live action, but in my head, it's Tim Daly.
Well, yeah.
Tim Daly's my favorite Superman.
Yeah, I get that, but
George Newbern is a very close second, very close. But he understands. He's friends with, he's buddies with Tim
Talked
Daly.
it out.
Actually, yeah, when I met him, he was just like, yeah, Tim's a good friend of mine and everything. It's like, yeah, he knows. Plus, he fucking killed it as Superman too, man. Justice
Yeah.
League Unlimited Superman. What a great Superman.
Yeah.
You know, if you would have told me to name every Superman, I would have probably came up with 4 or 5. So
Yeah, there's it's one of those things where there's been a lot. It's so weird too because they talk about like the curse of Superman because something's happened to everybody at some weird point that affects their lives.
Yeah. I don't know. Henry
Either
Cavill's my
they
favorite.
can't get work or you know they accidents, alcoholism.
Oh well, yeah.
You end up being Dean Cain.
Well, yeah, Dean Cain is. He had a little resurgence, sort of, with when he came back on Smallville, but yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, there's been Tom Welling was pretty good. I'd still
Well,
think they should do an animated sequel to Smallville, and so he can be Superman.
right, I agree, and I mean, he was so good, and yes, I'm also mad that he isn't Geralt anymore.
That show wasn't working. He could be Geralt for it. That show's still gonna suck.
Yeah.
yeah, that was bad.
It's not the book. It's not the game. It's this weird thing in between, and it's not good.
Yeah, and it's not working because I mean he was arguing for like, hey, this should be closer to the book. This should be this. This should be that. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're doing a different take. And it's just like, all right,
Well, I
whatever.
think he got in trouble because he kind of overstepped those people and started just changing the script, and that's like a big no, man.
Yeah.
You can't just change the script on the spot. There's all sorts of laws and rules within the SAG and the Writers Guild and all that.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, like there's so many actors that have signed up for something and it turns out to be a shit project, and they just gotta go through with it, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, the second
Okay.
he was either he got fired or quit. Regardless, that show wasn't going to work out anyway. That first season's not good. It's just
I enjoyed it.
He's barely in it.
But I also haven't played the video games.
It should be a monster a week thing. It really should. A monster a week thing with an overarching Geralt with Ciri and all that. They just the fact that I think he only witches like twice in that first season.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I'm fine with that. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed the show through Henry Cavill, and that was my main reason for watching it. Because I, again, haven't really been exposed to the video games. I have read the first book, but that was after seeing Henry Cavill as Geralt. So, yeah,
it was a lot of weird choices.
Geralt in my head as I was reading the book. So
he got Netflixed. That's what it was.
Yeah. My kids played Witcher games all the time.
I think I have like 400 hours logged in on The Witcher 3. I can never go back to it. Because if I do,
you'll be stuck in forever.
There's just so much good stories. Like the side quest, everything. You just get sucked in, man.
Totally agree, Jessica. But yeah.
Well, he's got Warhammer now. He's fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to be fine no matter what. Because I mean,
and he has like creative control.
He is
there
fine
too.
Head
Why
to
don't
toe.
You marry him, Dustin.
I would. I was actually talking about this with my mom, and I was like, "Yeah, I am definitely straight, like straight as an arrow. I'm straight as straight can be, but I would question things if Henry Cavill was involved or Idris Elba. Those two, sure."
Yeah, Elba's like universal.
I try to kiss you or something, like.
Hey, Dustin, if you could go, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what I was going to. Henry Cavill.
Or Idris Elba. He's so good. I love that dude. But yeah. Oh, so okay. There's a couple things I want to talk about, mention real quick. I know we're trying to wrap up the show, but I watched ambulance, the Michael Bay
Oh
ambulance.
yeah, with the
And it
Jake
has all those crazy
Gyllenhaal.
flying drones and stuff like that that zoom in and out. Let me tell you, I really enjoyed it. First of all, I didn't know it was what it was because I thought it was just going to be like an ambulance thing, but then they had this other side plot that was pretty much the main plot of the show, and I totally didn't see that. So it was just like I had only seen the trailers advertising it, and it's like, okay, drones, we get it. It's cool. I thought it was going to be like horrible because the drones are flying all weird and stuff like that, but no, it was very entertaining. Like I thought it was great as far as cinematography goes because wow, I mean they'd get shots like crazy shots, and it was like I really liked it. I was surprised. Jessica doesn't agree. She didn't like it.
I've heard mixed, so I've never
Yeah.
tried it. I've never been. The Rock is a fucking great movie, but I don't think Michael Bay's ever going to top The Rock because it's just the right amount of stupid and cool,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
that's Michael Bay's thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm also biased, I suppose, because I enjoyed The Rock. I even enjoyed his Transformer movies. Like, yeah, there were parts that were cringy. They weren't like solid plot wise, but it's just supposed to be robots fighting each other, and I felt like it did okay.
This is so fucking rad, but also really fucking dumb.
Exactly.
Yeah, Transformers. Except for Bumblebee. Bumblebee's great. I really enjoy that.
You cut out. There you go.
Sorry,
Maybe-
Bumblebee. I love Bumblebee, but that's not big. I mean, that's the big version.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah,
one.
I think Bumblebee is definitely my favorite movie thus far. I am looking forward to seeing Rise of the Beasts whenever I see it
Yeah, I
because I
think I'll wait.
loved Beast Wars.
I'm
I
just
was a
confused about how
huge
they're
fan of
working
Beast
all
Wars.
of that in, because there's
Yeah.
no way they're sticking to the mythology of it because the beat.
No, yeah, but I think that they were already there, already here, have been here for a long time, and then the Transformers arrive, and yeah,
I do think Ron Perlman. That's some brilliant casting though.
mm,
Him getting to be Optimus Primal. That's cool.
yeah, it's so cool. I just, I love it. I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm also looking forward to the new Justified series.
I saw that was coming back, and
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get on that show. I haven't watched a single episode, and I love
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant, and
Yeah, I love Timothy Olyphant, and
I love
it's just
modern
like,
day westerns, and I
Yeah,
don't know why I
exactly.
have not watched that show.
Exactly. So it's like, man, I only watched the first episode of the first season, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I could see it. This is going to be good. But I put it on the back burner because there were other shows that I was trying to power through.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, so I'll come back to that. And then it's like now I'm feeling the urge to go and finish it and power through. So that way I'm ready for the new season. I don't know how it translates to mythology and as far as that whole world goes, because he was in like Austin or something, and now he's in Michigan in the new series. I don't know if he got transferred or what happened, or if there was stuff that happened in the show that I haven't seen or what. But yeah,
Jessica's telling us to go finish it because
Yeah.
it's really good. I believe it. I don't know. And what is his name? He's in the show too. Right? I can't think of his name. I'm not even going to bother. I can't think of his name. I'm terrible. I need to get like.
You need to have download brain for
Yeah, hook my put a stupid chip in the side of my brain.
right, and just allow it to download all the stuff from IMDb and.
Well,
shit
luckily,
like
all
that.
you got to do is just silly putty it to the side of your head. And you're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah. Walter Groggins. That's it. That dude is great in everything. I don't care what it is.
True.
He's such. It's like people don't use him enough, but whenever they do use him, he's utilized to perfection.
Yeah.
Like Vice Principals is one of the funniest shows
Oh yeah.
ever. I love that show so much. I've missed that show, but I'm glad he's on the Righteous Gemstones. That's fixing to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Oh, Spider-Verse coming out this. Well, it's already out. I want to try and go see that this weekend.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Did you guys see that Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails, is going to do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle soundtrack?
Just out of the blue, man. Him and Atticus Finch, his
Yeah.
composer buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they killed it on scores, man. That was just such a weird thing to see.
Yeah.
He has an Oscar, and now he's done Disney movies, and now he's doing Ninja Turtles. And if you told me that back in the 90s that was going to happen, I'd be like, get fucked. What are you talking about?
Right.
The 9 Inch Nails guy? No. He never. But he's good. He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to the Watchmen HBO show. Mwah.
Yeah, I haven't
Great.
actually watched that yet.
It's pretty good.
Kurt was
It's not a sequel to
telling
the
me to
movie, though.
I never did.
It's definitely, if you need to read the book, it's a sequel to the book, not the movie.
Yeah. Well, I've read the book, so
Yeah.
I imagine I'd like it, but
Yeah, it's interesting. They have like a lot of interesting ideas. And it is good. It's entertaining, but and Tim Blake Nelson's in it. He's like the coolest character in that, the Looking Glass.
Hmm.
I love Tim Blake Nelson too. The same way I love Walter Goggins. Anything he's in, I'll watch it. He's good.
Yeah. So hang on. Jessica says she watched it. She watched Spider-Verse.
Yes. Jealous. No spoilers. I've actually not watched any of the trailers.
Yeah.
I've just seen that like little teaser thing that they said, hey, these 2 of these are coming. I'm like, what? That's all I needed to see. I don't want to see anything else.
She suggests another good show we should check out is
Banshee.
Banshee. What is that?
Banshee's crazy.
What is I know I've seen that title. What is that?
It's like a mob series, but it's I'm trying to remember, where is it? What country is it in?
Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes. It only had 3 seasons, 2013 to 2016. And an ex-con assumes the identity of a murdered sheriff in a small town of Banshee, Pennsylvania, where he has unfinished business.
Oh, that actually sounds good. That's a good hook. That's a good hook.
I stumbled across that show, and it was really good.
That was a show on FX, wasn't it? Because I feel like it was. I think I remember seeing it advertised, but I don't know.
Cinemax.
Yeah, sounds good.
It was on HBO. The guy that plays Homelander in The Boys plays them. Really?
Yeah.
So that's another show with him.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Okay. That might have sold me on it.
Yeah, how have I not seen this? HBO.
I didn't know he was. I know that title's familiar, but I didn't know he was in it. I think The Boys is fixing to come back too. I can't. That needs to hurry up.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Let's see. I think. Yeah.
If you're looking for a decent movie, I just watched the other night the new Nick Cage movie, The Old Way.
Yes, I want to see that.
It's good. It's a Western movie,
and
it's not one of his cheesy movies.
Mm-hmm.
He really does a good job in this movie. It's a Western, and he is just kind of a lawman, and he shoots and kills this man in front of his 7-8-year-old son.
Right.
And 20 years later, his life is different. He's completely out of the game, but that kid is now coming for him. And it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I do remember that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Definitely worth watching. If you're
Did you have to pay for that? Because that's currently on.
I think it was Amazon.
Yeah, it's currently on Amazon, but it said rent or buy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure we rented it.
Yeah, okay.
I watched it over our buddy Nate's house.
I gotcha.
Wow.
But yeah, it was. I was. Whenever there's a new Nick Cage movie, I'm always thinking it's either going to be cheesy, which is fantastic, or just a good movie.
Yeah.
I was kind of, for some reason, maybe it was just the mood I was in. I was kind of hoping this was going to be a cheesy movie. I was surprised.
What was that one movie? Oh, he was in. It was so good. It was a horror
Fiddler on the
movie.
Roof.
Yeah. No, it was.
I know. No.
Mandy?
Yeah, Mandy.
Mandy was insane.
Also,
Mandy was awesome. And what about the other one? The one you sent me, the one with the fun park?
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man.
That movie was insane. Like, it's just like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I mean,
aren't they doing a sequel to that?
I hope.
I don't know.
I think they're doing a sequel to that.
Oh, yeah,
Renfield, did you see that yet?
I have not seen Renfield yet.
I would
wanna
watch
see
that
Renfield
one first.
and she said Unbearable Weight. Yeah,
that movie's great. I love that.
So
movie.
funny. That's like one of the best.
Really funny. Yeah.
Great comedy. That was so
Yeah.
well written. That trailer did not do that movie justice.
No, not at all.
No.
It's
Well,
very
I mean,
surreal and meta.
yeah, I mean, I saw it and I was just like, oh, Nick Cage, I need to see this movie. This is going to be awesome. And I was like, well, Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal. Yep, I'm definitely seeing it. But I never got to go to the theater to see it. So it was
Pedro should be doing more comedy.
Yes. Yeah, he should be.
He's clearly got comedic timing and everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his SNL stuff, the stuff he did on SNL, oh, that was so good.
He's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny to watch. Oh my god! La, la, la.
And I would still recommend Pig. That was
yeah, for sure. It's John Wick with the pig.
That's a really good, just surprisingly touching movie.
Good at it. I'll see.
I think he said that's his favorite movie that he's done.
Really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nicolas Cage.
The movie Pig.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, you need to see it. Like I said, it's John Wick, but instead of a dog, it's a pig.
I would be pretty pissed if someone
takes
pig.
his prize pig.
Yeah, and he's a dude that just lives out in the woods. He gets truffles and sells them to fucking yahoos that come out there, and that's all he does. He just lives off that. And then one day somebody takes his pig and they cross the line.
You done crossed it.
You can't get the truffles without that pig.
But yeah, it just starts slowly unraveling this character. It's a great character study film.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted like how to do a proper character study, Pigs, that's a good example.
Yeah.
Because by the end of that movie, you just rips your heart out, man. It's really good stuff.
Yeah.
So that's so the homework is Devil's Angels.
Devil's Angels.
And if you got time, also throw in The Old Way or Renfield or any of the Nick Cage movies.
Yeah. Pretty much anything. So, I mean,
that'll be extra credit. Any Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, I mean, we got like at least a week to do this, so.
Yeah.
If you can part from making out with your Henry Cavill poster.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any. I know he's not denying it.
If anything, it would probably be this poster here.
Boba.
And everything's falling. Never mind.
Yeah, it looks like you're in the middle of an earthquake.
Oh, fine. Tease us. Fine.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna show it still. Just got to get my extra camera. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do present and extra camera and share and.
I hope it CG's a really shitty droid.
If it ever loads. Is it even plugged in?
I do shit on that movie, but as long as there's all the robots in that movie were not moving, they didn't look bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the animation on them was terrible. It's very stilted and like way too quick.
All right, fine. I'll remove it. And then No, still not working. Oh well.
Don't waste my motherfucking time.
She says, at least it's not above my bed. Who says it's not?
This is gonna add. There's,
I mean,
a huge influx of jokes I can't do.
I
have-
think we can. It's a
I
good
have a poster
good-
over here, and
Anywhere I look,
a
there
bank
he is.
over here, and a tin poster over here. But it's not of Henry Cavill specifically, just Superman. Because, yeah.
Well, every time the wind blows, Dustin hears Cavill.
He's even got the pillowcases.
Yeah, he's got like a waifu case with Henry Cavill on it.
I can't say the same for me. What do you mean? Do you have Henry Cavill above your bed?
Everybody's in love with Henry Cavill.
He's amazing.
I'm not getting into that. There's something I trust my gut, and my gut says not to trust that dude.
My mom says, no, the pillows are Alba. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Alba and Henry Cavill. I'd take them both.
Well, guys, my
At the same time.
I'm secure enough in my masculinity that I can say that kind of shit. Stuff's falling.
I'm in a situation again, just so you know, where my 110-pound dog is trying to attack me here because I'm ignoring him.
All that Cavill talk.
Yeah. Henry Cavill even gets the dogs excited.
I have a very, very needy
Oh, yeah. Okay.
6-year-old big dog.
What you got? Can you get him on camera?
I'm trying, but he's black and he's just like,
Oh, he's just blending in.
there he is. Yeah. See,
Oh, yeah,
It's not
he's a
big.
ninja.
he just wants to wrestle. He's a big crazy dog.
Signed Jeremy Renner picture of him as Hawkeye.
You know she's
Yeah.
nuts about Renner.
Yeah.
Well,
I get it.
we'll see everybody. I guess I don't know. Is that before the 8th? I can't think of what. You'll probably see the movie episode next.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
that's
Well, if I can pull up my calendar. Jeez.
That's the
going on
8th.
here?
Like a week from the day would be. Yeah, that'd be like the 9th.
Oh, I can look at my phone because I have a calendar on there too. Jeez.
We're
Such an
professionals
idiot.
here.
I'm an idiot. Okay, so a week is roughly the 9th, and we have podcast earlier in the morning, in the middle of the night, with Leo and Tom, because
Mhm.
I mean they're in a different country, so
Yeah.
we got to do that, and then but we might be able to come back in that night, that evening.
Okay. And also, we have other guests planned. We're just solidifying them.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
We think they're
Yep.
coming on. We just
Exciting.
got to land the dates.
Exciting.
Let's just say if you're a Four Horsemen fan, maybe keep tune in and subscribe so you don't miss something.
You know,
Maybe.
maybe.
All right. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
And we'll see you next
Do
time.
your homework. Subscribe. Maybe get some merch. All that good stuff.
Yeah, we have shirts. Go buy a shirt.
Yeah. Seriously. I want to buy the new shirt, like, because it looks so good. But yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Adios.
Bye, bearded one.